Hi, welcome to Roll Call. I'm Mike Bonifant.
Mike, I'm still Steve Crownchild. I checked this morning. I am still me.
How did you check those? Did you just check your ID?
My license, the mirror.
Cool.
We looked a lot alike.
Same person.
I'm good for another day.
All right, excellent.
Little
Excellent.
victories, that's all I take.
Well, hey, one day at a time, Stephen. That's how it works.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Stephen, last show I complained about the weather, and I'm not going to complain about it again, but really it hasn't changed. Just saying.
Oh, this is crazy. It's, you know, they say in New England, we're going to go from the heat to the air conditioner with nothing in between.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
when this breaks, it's going to be a bazillion out.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely nuts.
It's great. It's been great fun, really.
Yeah, I don't know who likes it. It's just damp, cold, miserable, just damp and cold and rain.
Yeah. Even the days you think that maybe there's a chance the sun's going to come blasting through the cloud, it doesn't happen. Yeah.
And to top it all off in the big city of Taunton, traffic has been a blast.
It's been excellent. Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. Really good
Listen.
days. Yeah.
Now, again, if you're hearing this show, it's on local cable, so you're a local resident. I forgot the internet thing. But I had to go back and forth today from the city to Whittington. Normally, you just go up Broadway. Once you realize it's blocked, I made great time because I went, by Hopewell Park out that way. It is weird, though, how your brain says, I go this way all the time. You have to think of it. But there's every road that's blocked, there's 6 avenues, especially if you're a local. Now, you're out of town, I can understand that.
Yes.
But if you're a local, there's no excuse for sitting in that traffic. There's just a couple lefts and a rights, and something runs parallel with it. We're just very fortunate in the big city that way. So
Yeah, there's always a way around.
I feel bad for you the first time. The second, third, fourth, fifth week in a row, come on.
Yeah.
And it's day and night. They're doing downtown at night and Broadway during the day.
And a lot of things just off Broadway, like up in the Washington Street area in Whittington there, General Sherman Street. Yeah, there's blocks everywhere. It's like every street's closed.
Again, this is what happens when you put stuff in the ground and you leave it alone for 120 years. It all kind of, I don't know if it's failing or just time to replace it all at once. So we as Americans are great builders. We love to build things.
Yes, we do.
But we are terrible maintainers.
Yeah.
We don't, you can't
Very
get a
true.
coat of paint on it. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Right? The high school,
Well, you can't get a coat of paint in that underground stuff anymore.
they tried.
Yeah.
They had that machine there.
Yeah.
But it's true. We build things, but we don't really maintain them.
It is very true. Yeah, it's tough. So
Now it comes all at once, and it is a mess. But
it's here.
you want to drink of water, go to the bathroom. You got to get them pipes in the ground.
I will say, and I haven't really been up there, but County Street, they did the railroad tracks over those 3 nights, and I didn't hear any big complaints about that. That it was County Street 140 from like just beyond Mazone Boulevard.
Yeah.
It is Mazone Boulevard, yeah.
Yes.
Was closed for 3 nights in a row, and it seemed to go without a
Good.
hitch. So, which was nice.
Again, they had signs up. There was in the paper. It was
Oh, yeah, plenty
all
of
kinds of
notice.
media. But still, people they get behind the wheel of that 4,000-pound machine and just shut their
go.
brains off. It's just
It was great.
it's just amazing.
So.
The other thing we could, for some reason, Mike, you brought it up. We've been experiencing a lot of.
Oh, domestics. A lot of domestics. Law changed, I guess, maybe a little over a year ago, where you couldn't really put into public the information from a domestic arrest for the privacy of the victim and for the suspect. But we couldn't publish their names and do all that. So, but because of that, we don't talk about them really too much on the show.
really
We
can't.
don't, anything that falls under any kind of domestic assault and battery or a household member, we can't talk about it. We could tell you what happened, but we couldn't tell you where, we couldn't tell you who was involved. So
Right.
it's kind of like, but let me just tell you, there's been a ton. There's just been a ton. And I don't know what's driving it, if it's just the weather or something, but there's been a lot of household violence, basically, in the city. And there's been a lot of arrests involved in that. So a lot of our stories that we can't talk about involve that, unfortunately.
Oh, and one more thing for an update. I had like an epiphany.
Ooh.
The first week in June, I don't know when you're going to see this, of 2017, that trial is going to start with a young girl from Dartmouth or Fairhaven allegedly told the guy to, the kid with the suicide thing.
Yes.
So you think traffic downtown is bad. The trial they feel is going to be so well attended by media from all over that they've actually had a meeting already with the judge and what he expects from the media. We've set up special, well, I should say special, but designated parking for the press. There's presses in the courtroom can only line up in a certain area. It's going to be a circus, and they're talking about a 3-week trial between picking the jury selection, all that kind of stuff. So if you're going downtown, bear this in mind that for the first at least 2 weeks in June, maybe the third, on top of the construction, on top of all the potholes, you're going to have a army of media trucks. And the media trucks already, everybody's trying to get a Betty jockey for position. We get a spot for them on Court Street that's going to be designated. Yeah, they already don't want it because maybe the uplink and this. So it's going to be.
They want to be in front of the courthouse to get the better picture.
Probably. So it's going to be like a zoo. So just to add to it.
Yeah.
Because that courthouse belongs right in the middle of the city. Because you have all that room for all that stuff.
It does. They said so.
So yeah, just so you know, the first couple weeks in June, unless it gets continued or something for a reason, but it's going to be
something to look forward to.
Yes, it's just going to be a zoo.
I'm going to go on vacation. I'm just telling you.
I don't blame you.
Just saying, I'm going.
I may just go with you.
Well, jump in the back. All right. Want to tell them what else is happening?
No.
Shall we get to the stories?
Yeah, well, might as well.
All right.
Because
let's see.
The city's as silly as ever.
Yes, it is. This first report is from Sergeant Matt Squarto, happened on May 23rd, where the sergeant applied for and was granted a search warrant from Taunton District Court. The target of the warrant was Jasmine Rodriguez of 24 Sumner Street, and the target was also cocaine. Additionally, she had 3 outstanding warrants for her arrest. Sergeant Squarto, Detective Corps, Detective Sylvia, Patrolman Joseph Balmain, and Patrolwoman Alexandra Cambra met at the Street Crimes Office for a briefing on the service of the warrant. Then they went at 2:45 p.m. to Sumner Street. They proceeded to the rear door, and they made entrance by knocking and announcing police and walked through the unlocked door, which was kind of convenient. There were 3 occupants in the apartment at this time, including Jasmine, who they had gone for. They started speaking with her. All 3 were secured at that moment. Even though the 3 of them weren't placed under arrest, they knew Jasmine was going to be placed under arrest because she had warrants for her. But the other 2 were just secured and held there just until they figured out exactly what they were there for. As it turns out, they were released and sent on their way. They were not there for any drug-related items. They found in the apartment numerous hypodermic needles, one of which was loaded, which means it had a drug in it, as well as a baggie of what appeared to be fentanyl. And they also found another one which appeared to be crack cocaine, some pills, and 3 Massachusetts EBT cards. What happens is a lot of times these drug dealers will take the Mass EBT cards from people as payment. They'll actually give up their EBT card and then report that they lost it. But in the meantime, this person, the drug dealer, can go and use that card like a credit card. So they took all those. There was also a safe. They asked her for the combination for the safe. She said it was a key, and she actually gave up the key. Inside the safe was a box containing 18 rounds of ammunition and a black pellet gun. A previous check of her information showed she did not have a license to carry or a valid FID. So she was finally brought into the station. She was arrested on the 3 warrants, and she was also charged with possession with intent to distribute Class B fentanyl, possession with intent to distribute Class B, possession with intent to distribute Class B Suboxone, possession with intent to distribute Class C, and possession with intent to distribute Class E. She had all the classes covered there, plus possession of ammunition with LTC.
What happened to F and G?
Well, she didn't get quite to those yet. Yeah, maybe next time.
This next report is Report Officer Danny Williams. He was conducting patrol on High Street in the area of Bow Street when he saw a white Chevy Silverado. He made a kind of a quick turn. As he made this turn from High Street onto Spring Street without signaling, caused a vehicle traveling behind him, the Chevy, to kind of put the brakes on because they didn't realize the car was stopping. So once the Chevy made the right onto High Street and Spring Street, it traveled down the center lane in the direction of Summer Street. Danny activated the blue lights, siren, and pulled the vehicle over. I find this very dangerous. As he stopped, as the cruiser stopped and the Chevy stopped, the male operator of the vehicle hops out of the car. Listen, you get a car stop, you never hop out of the vehicle. Just sit still, keep your hands on the steering wheel, just make for easy. So this guy hops out of the car, walks to the cruiser. Danny orders him back in the car. He still kind of keeps walking to him. He says, get back in the car. So what the guy does, he walks back to his car, opens the back door of the driver's seat, and gets in the back seat. So now, Danny walks up to the car and makes contact with the guy. The guy's name was Hannarin's his last name. So he asks for his license and registration, well, the driver's license. So he gives him a Mass ID card, and he explained to him that he has no license. He's under suspension. His license is no good. So he says, but it's okay because I'm not driving. So Danny, being the keen observer that he is, says, I just saw you.
Yeah.
He
just jumped out of
just
the
jumped
driver's
out of the car. He says, no, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
So I think he was like a Jedi mind trick he thought he was playing.
Could have been.
Right?
Yeah,
Couldn't.
it's amazing.
Yeah. So another officer, he says his girlfriend was driving. Now she has, in the meantime, jumped from the passenger seat into the driver's seat. So long story short, they realize that he's driving. He admitted that he lied because he's on probation and did not want to get in trouble. Danny observed that he had a ankle monitor on his leg. So they take him out of the car, they pat frisk him. He had a black folding knife and a pair of brass knuckles in his front pocket. Hannarin forgot to tell Danny that he told him that he should have left him home. He didn't think he had them. In Massachusetts, brass knuckles, there's a bunch of things that are just considered hazardous, dangerous weapons. Mere possession is illegal, arrestable. Brass knuckles is one of them, double-edged knife, the nunchucks.
There's a kind of,
There's a list, and they keep going, throwing stars. Mere possession is an arrestable offense. So while he was speaking with Officer Travis went up to the car and spoke to the girl. The last name is Simon. They take her out. They find a small pipe on her, a couple of Coreboy steel wool pads. That is what they use when they smoke crack cocaine. They use them like for little filter type things. 2 loose Suboxones, some film strips that said she was illegally in possession of, but did not have a prescription for. So Matt Squatto arrives, and he informed him that she had a warrant out of Vermont, that was
extraditable.
God, that's why I hang around with you.
Yes, she was.
All in New England. Because sometimes you have warrants and they won't come and get you. They'll just let you know and they won't come. But this one was. So she was being placed under arrest. They double locked the handcuffs. They put her in the car. They arrested the other guy for driving. So when they get back to the station, they do an inventory. We have a new female officer, Alexandria Canberra. They're patting her down. They asked if she had anything in her clothing, and she said, yep. She had some drugs in her pants, so they took them out. So Marlene Simmons was arrested as a fugitive from justice from the warrant, and she was also charged with possession of Class B, Suboxone, and crack cocaine. The Jedi mind trip guy, Robin Hannera, was issued a citation for driver with no license, and he was charged with operating after revocation, carrying a dangerous weapon, failure to signal, Mark Lane violation, and the brass knuckles. I don't know if there's any kind of violation. I don't know what on the ankle bracelet. I'm not quite sure of that.
Well, I'm sure his probation officer's
would
going to be
not
very
be very
interested
happy,
in that.
But I just thought it was kind of humorous. He hops out of the car, gets in the back seat, and says,
"Oh yeah, it wasn't me."
"Wasn't me.
Yep.
You make a mistake."
No, that wasn't me just sitting there. I'm sitting here. What are you talking about? Yeah. Stephen, I know you think you're doing TV with me right now, but this is not me.
It is
I'm
a
not really
Jedi
here.
mind trick.
Yep, I'm in the back seat. So anyway, this is from a report of Officer Matt Clifford. Matt's one of our newer guys.
All we have is newer guys.
Well, this is true. This is true. It is. Stephen and I have been around a couple of years.
Day or two.
And I never thought this would happen to me because, you kind of try to know all the new guys. But there are still a few guys, when I see them wandering around the station, I go, oh, who is that? I hate that.
How about when you call a station, a place you've been in for 30 plus years, you have to identify yourself and tell them that, yes, you do work here.
Yeah, well, that's when you know you've been here.
I think so, Mikey.
Been here too long. It's awful. But anyway, all right, this is from May 26th, which was a Friday, 4:16 in the morning, bright and early. Officer Clifford's on routine patrol. He's going up Myrtle Street, and he observes an individual enter the driver's side of a car that's parked on the side of the road, which is not really that odd, even though it is at 4:16 in the morning. But he immediately sees this individual, once he gets into the car, start rummaging through like the center console and taking stuff from there and stuffing it in a bag. So as he's driving up closer, and now he's getting even, right up to where the car is, the subject looks, sees that the police car is right there, his eyes do the deer in the headlights thing. He comes out of the car, looks at the officer, and whoosh, sprints. So Matt calls into dispatch that he's now in a foot pursuit with this subject. Several other officers joined the pursuit, including Officer Tommy Larkin, Laurie Neves, Steve Correa, and Officer Texera. So now they're checking for the guy. Matt actually loses the kid in the foot pursuit for a few minutes, but Officer Larkin, in a short time later, finds him, grabs him, ends up placing him under arrest. In his custody, they find a black backpack. Inside that backpack is two laptops, one of which has a seal on the back from Middleborough Public Schools, and some cash and change and stuff like that. So they take all that stuff, including the subject, into custody. They find the owners of the car that he saw him going into. They said, yeah, they don't know him, that's their car, and they had some items, some change and stuff missing from the center console. Short side note on this, like right after the arrest, someone else called from Myrtle Street and reported that their vehicle was taken, and a laptop their vehicle was there, but the laptop was taken from the vehicle. So that laptop was actually returned to those people today. They came in and got it, picked it up. So this young juvenile, who was, I believe, 16 years old, he is charged with B&E into a vehicle in the nighttime for a felony, larceny over $250, and resisting arrest for running.
See, that's the beauty of new guys. They can run.
They can.
Michael and we can direct.
He went that way.
Yeah. That just comes with experience.
Yes.
But we have a lot of younger. We got a bunch more coming. Because we got a bunch of guys retiring.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of young legs.
We still need more. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Much more. We're staying even, but we're not getting ahead.
Yeah, we're not gaining or anything. No. And the city's expanding and growing. But yeah, because we have had a bunch of retirements and a bunch more coming. So you need. Yeah. There's a lot.
Sign me up on that list, will you?
The next is a John. Don't be wishing your life away. This is Officer Peterson. He was a transfer from Bridgewater, I believe, right? A few years back.
West Bridgewater.
One of the Bridgewater.
Yeah,
There's just too many Bridgewaters.
Yeah.
He got directed to go. This is at 9 o'clock at night, 9:45, to go to Kohl's department store for a reported shoplifter. When they got there, security said that she observed a woman come into Kohl's with a bag and a box of shoes, Kohl's shoes, but she came in with it. Didn't go to the courtesy booth, nothing, just came in. She also observed her go to the shoe department, take the shoes that are in that box, place them in her bag, put some other shoes in that box, and as she was going, she took a couple T-shirts, a ceramic toothbrush holder, 3 T-shirts, a sweatshirt, placed several home decor items in her bag. So as John Peterson was pulling up, they give the plate of the car. The security officer follows her outside. They know what kind of car. He gets behind the cruiser, stops the car because she was getting ready to leave. We got here in time. They find all the stuff that she was talking about. So she was arrested. And I'll tell you her name. That type of guy I am. Jennifer Bentley from Bridgewater. She had over $200 worth of stuff on her person. She was charged with shoplifting, third offense. This is her third offense of shoplifting. She got arraigned in 06, 07, and in 16. So she was charged with, again, shoplifting. You can take this pen and put it in your pocket, and that's shoplifting. That's arrestable offense. There's no felony with over so much or whatever. And,
correct.
And if the manager sees you, that's as good as me and you seeing you.
Yes.
So
yeah, that works.
Yes, it works well.
Very well. Yeah.
So, Michael, we just got the 2-minute finger.
Really? So
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm going to let Steve just talk for 2 minutes. Go ahead. Just ramble.
Oh, I can, but it's just, yeah. Just don't get me started on silly things.
There are a lot of summer events coming up, I believe. There's stuff around the green. I know there's some concerts on the Common.
Yeah.
There's, Memorial Day has passed, and there was unfortunately no Memorial Day parade.
It got canceled because of the rain. Hard to believe.
Yeah, and we do believe that the sun is going to come out at some point, but we're not really sure.
No, we're not going to bet on
weathermen.
it yet. No.
So,
That's
I'm
it,
not
Michael.
betting on it.
I'm tired. I'm
All
ready,
right.
I'm ready for a nap.
Remember,
Me and
bring your
Parker.
patience with you when you're out driving, and be kind.
See you in a couple weeks.
Thanks for watching.